for breakfast, I am making some oatmeal. My house is a mess right now. I'm like in a huge rush because my parents are coming over, but I have some water in here. I'm just gonna make a cup of oatmeal. Show you guys. So I'm making oatmeal. I've been obsessed with this like berry compote. I don't know if that's what it's called, but I basically have been making, like, I take a bag of frozen berries, I add some water into a hot pan, and then I add some stevia and a little bit of vanilla, and I like cook it down, and it makes this amazing like sugar-free kind of syrupy deliciousness. So I made a strawberry one and a raspberry one, and I'll kind of insert some clips of how I made it, but it's technically like a sugar-free jam. And I just put it on top of my oatmeal with a banana, and it's like the best thing ever. Put a little bit of soy milk. So good. I'm gonna put the recipe probably, I don't know if I'll put the recipe on my website because it's so easy to make. Anyways, hello, welcome back to another What I Eat in a Day video. My parents are visiting, so I haven't had like a ton of time, but I'm gonna show you guys like what I'm making for lunch and dinner today. And yeah, we're going to Tombstone today and doing like a tour of the town because it's a really interesting old mining town. Taking my parents, and I'm just trying to eat some breakfast before we go. It's like 10:45 and I'm really hungry, and that's it. But I'll show you guys what this looks like, and then I'll see you for lunch. My oats are done, and I'm just going to put a chopped banana on top. There's nothing in the oats, it's just plain oats and water. Usually I add like stevia or something, but I'm just really in a rush today. So then I have my raspberry. I'm gonna do both. I just like to put this on top. It makes it look all fancy, and it's like jam, but it's like a sugar-free, healthy, homemade jam. Just add a little soy milk. That is it. How good does this look? Like stir it all up. It's my newest obsession. Also, if you put like PB2 powder on top of this, it basically tastes like peanut butter and jelly. It's so good. For lunch, I'm gonna make some fries because I'm feeling super lazy. So I have these potatoes that I just pre-steamed, and I just keep them in a bowl in my fridge. I just put them in my Instant Pot for 6 minutes, and I let it naturally release, and this just helps them to cook a little bit so that they don't dry out in the air fryer, and it helps them just keep their moisture, and I feel like they taste like just way better. So I'm just gonna chop these into fry shapes, and my go-to seasoning lately has just been a little bit of chili powder. I do a little bit of smoked paprika, maybe 1/4 teaspoon. I use some of this Arizona habanero hot pepper blend, and then just some garlic salt. And you just want to shake these up. And then I'm just gonna put these in my air fryer basket, and I will cook these in the air fryer on 400 for about 15 minutes, and then I'll check them. Usually they get pretty crispy after 15 minutes, but sometimes these big russet potatoes take a little bit longer to cook, so I'll just do 15 minutes and check them because I don't want them to burn. All right, these look perfect. I'm just gonna have these with a little bit of this ketchup. So yum. Okay guys, so for dinner I'm gonna make my chickpea noodle soup. I've been obsessed with this soup lately. It is so nourishing and comforting, and I was feeling like a little bit under the weather a while ago, and I had this soup and I've been obsessed with it ever since. So to get started, I have some chopped garlic, onion, zucchini, and carrots, and I have this recipe on my website. So I will link that below for you guys because I'm kind of using up extra stuff today. But the actual recipe is on my website. So I just have this over high heat and I'm just gonna add this in here and saute it for a little bit. I'm also going to add in about half a teaspoon to a teaspoon of turmeric. So I usually use Better Than bouillon for this, but I have these not chicken bouillon cubes and I'm just gonna use these. So now I'm just going to add in 6 cups of water and bring this up to a boil and let this cook for a little bit. And now I'm gonna add in my noodles. So I have 10 ounces of spaghetti noodles here. On the recipe on my website, I think I use 6 ounces. But I like it to be really noodly, so I'm adding in extra. And I'm just using this spaghetti, organic spaghetti pasta. Sometimes I'll use rice pasta, sometimes I'll use like the chickpea pasta, but today I'm just using this. I've been making it with this for a while and it's very reminiscent of the way that my mom used to make chicken noodle soup, so I like the long noodles. And you'll just want to cook the noodles according to the package. So these I need to cook for 12 minutes. So I will just let it do that, and then once that is done, we'll add in the rest of the ingredients and then it's basically done. All right, so my noodles are done. You want to kind of cook them al dente, and then you can basically just turn it off because it is going to cook a little bit more just because the water is so boiling. So then I just have some peas and corn. These are just frozen peas and corn that have green beans and carrots in them. I like to add that in there right away to just cool it down. I'm also gonna add in some miso just because I have it, but it is not necessary. It's not in the recipe on my website, so it's totally optional. And then I like to add in a little sprinkling of nutritional yeast, just like a teaspoon or a tablespoon or so. I have a can of chickpeas that I've rinsed and drained here. And the recipe on my website also has a block of tofu in there. I don't have any tofu right now, so I'm just making it without it. And if you guys want to keep it lower fat, it's just as good without the tofu. So you definitely don't need to add the tofu into the recipe. I make it a lot of times just with the chickpeas and it's great. And then I'm gonna add into here a ton of kale. This is probably 4 cups, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to fit all of it in there. And this will just wilt because it's so hot. That is pretty much it. I will eat this entire thing in like 2 days. It's so filling, so nourishing, so delicious. You guys have to try it. If you love chicken noodle soup, it is just amazing and I am totally obsessed with it.